this is Koi from Ray of Gratitude, giving a peace of mind to at least that one person at a time. I know that one person is you. Thank you for those that are constantly showing up, and I'd like to welcome my newcomers. So, if you're wondering what's going on right here, we have a pick-a-pile. I haven't done this in a while, but I've been wanting to do this. I have something on my blog that I did a write-up for Saturn in retrograde. Now, Saturn is like Father Time. Saturn is ruled by, Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And I believe Aquarius used to be ruled by Saturn as well. But now Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. Any astrology people that are watching this, please let me know in the comments if I'm correct. So I'm not 100% correct. I am a newbie to astrology. I've been tapping into it a little bit more. Okay, I'm like intermediate, I'll say, not newbie, but I know that I'm not like there. So if you are an astrologer that's like into it, please let me know. But I wanted to tap into the energies of Saturn because I do know Saturn represents time, represents karma, and things go back, right? Almost like the infinity symbol. What comes around goes around, and what you put out comes back to you. So I also like to say karma. A lot of times people kind of like, oh, it has to be bad vibes. Not necessarily, because if you've been putting out nothing but good vibes, well, it comes back to you, right? So we're going to just tap into this. And I'm thinking like last time Saturn was in retrograde could be a good mark for you to kind of look into. Again, if you're like into astrology, definitely check that out. Check out the planets and what your life, what your energy was like looking like. If you're not, then that's cool. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the reading. But to start off the reading, I do want you to tap into your energy. I do want you to pause for the cause. And I do want you to just take a deep breath in and exhale out slowly. Feel into your body, right? You can do that with your eyes closed or just focusing on one object. And just feel where your gaze is going to. What makes you feel drawn to? If it's all a pile, it's cool. I'd love for you to spend time with me through this whole reading. But if you just want to pick one, please do so. So we're going to talk about what karma are you reaping right now? You know, what's coming back to you? Is there any thing that you can benefit from this at this time, right? Is there a way that you can benefit from this karma? Because karma does bring lessons. You know, sometimes it's restricted lessons that bring a lot of responsibility for you to level up, but you're still growing. And you know, is there anything that you're resisting from this lesson? Sometimes we're just not aware, right, of what we need to do. Sometimes we are, because we just don't want to do the work. So we're going to figure that out, okay? So if you've already picked your pile, you can go to the timestamp. I'm just going to say before I get into this reading, please check out my links below. I have a lot of new things going on. I have a new virtual studio that I haven't quite finished, but I'd love for you to check out. And I also do coaching, one-on-one coaching that helps you with your creativity, that helps you with your authenticity, and it also helps you remove blocks that can really help you tap in to your best self and find your uniqueness on ways that you can utilize your creativity. It may not be artistry, but it sure enough is your creativity, all right? So if you know, you know, and check out the links below. And if you'd like a reading, you can also find out how to do that too. So without further ado, let's get into this reading, y'all. Pile one, let's start now. Okay, pile ones. So I'm going to leave this here for you, and we're going to get into these questions, okay? So let's start now. Okay, so we have 3 cards. This is what karma you are reaping right now. This is there any benefit that you are, like, how can you benefit from this karma? And this is like, are you resisting from anything? So right off the back, I'm already noticing that pile one, you have a contract. So if you are resisting from this, I just want to tell you, it make it worse. There's no way of fighting this because you have a soul contract with this. If you don't know what soul contracts are, please look them up. I don't want to derail from the reading. But right off the back, it says, what are you reaping from this karma right now? I feel that you are, you've been looking into a lot of spiritual things, and this time around, Saturn is actually bringing karma to you that is making whatever was subconscious, whatever was unconscious to you, is making it known. Let's clarify this. Tell me more about this moon here. What are you reaping right now in this Saturn retrograde with this karma? Okay, there we go. Yeah. Okay, so I'm thinking there's also some, is this in here? Okay, good. There's some past life things that you might be coming up. And you might have to deal with some past life issues, right? This karma that's coming back around, it may be pretty strong to you. I don't know. I'm kind of looking at, like, I don't know if there's some type of manipulation going on that may happen to you that you may have done, but there's definitely been this sense of you kind of tapping into some spiritual side of you, or just like kind of like peeking in, like, well, I don't really know about this spiritual stuff, but I just kind of want to know. And then like Saturn retrograde is like, oh, you're gonna know, and it just opened the door type of thing, because I feel like it is a strong energy that's actually showing you or guiding you to revisit your past, whether it's in this lifetime or past life. I'm really feeling like there's this past life energy, because I just keep thinking of subconscious and unconscious, like the moon holding secrets, but you're very intuitively guided to do this. And it's kind of bringing me a memory of like when I first came across tarot cards. I just was like, oh, what is this? And this was when I was actually elementary, middle school, something like that. I was like 8th grade, 9th grade, something around that time. So if for those that don't know what, because I don't know where you're located, but I think it was like 13, 14 type of energy. And I didn't know. I just was like, okay, because I've always been interested in witch stuff and all this stuff, right? But now looking back, about 2 decades later, it's like, I knew that was a past life. I knew it had something to do with my ancestors. Let's just get a little clarity about this Magician card real quick. What is this Magician card talking about here? Yeah, pause. I think that there's something to do with you understanding ways how creative you are. You understanding more ways that how your creativity works through spirit. It's also about you being a manifester, and you possibly had no idea. And you've been wondering how you've been manifesting things. And this is the thing, if you have a strength in manifesting things, you really need to pay attention to what you do, what you say, and your emotions a lot more. Because, like we're talking about karma, what comes up must come down. What goes around comes around, right? If you've been telling yourself negative thoughts, you're also manifesting this. If you've been telling yourself positive thoughts, you're going to manifest this. You're starting to understand during this Saturn retrograde, this karma that's coming up is something like you may start meeting some people that feel like home, or just feel like you've known them for a while, and it has to do with the past life. You're definitely in this energy, and it may have started pretty recent, because Saturn retrograde started June 4th, I believe, in 2022, because this is the year we're in, right? And it's not going to end all the way until October like the end of October. So like the beginning of June, there was a lot of energy happening because there was a lot of planets aligning and doing some things. And when Saturn starts retrograding, it's kind of just like if you've ever driven a stick, right? If you've ever like place your stick in the wrong gear during, like, you know, like that energy. That's what I feel like Saturn being in retrograde is like. You know, your car kind of does like this weird sound, and it'll kind of start jerking, and it's like, what are you doing here? You're not in the right gear. Any planet really, but Saturn really brings that punch because, again, this lifetime is not linear as we think. And I feel that you, pile one, you know that. You've became aware of that, and you're starting to understand and tap into your intuition or strengthen your intuition. And you're becoming aware of a lot of things that you're possibly unlearning, or just really just becoming a parent to, right? So let's see, is there a way that you can benefit from this? Let's tap into this. Because we have the Lenormand card, Kiss. Okay. I kind of feel like this is like the way that you can benefit from this is really learning deeper ways to self-love. Let me get one more card, please. There we go. You saw how that just, let's see. Let's bring this here. Yeah. So I think that, you know, I really feel like this has to do with past life stuff, y'all. But past life also reflects in this lifetime. And let's talk about your lifetime right now, right? You've been through a lot of shit, okay? If I can just be quite frank. And you've had some tough times. You definitely had a lot of adversity happen within your life. And you're figuring out ways to understand and manage your emotions. Because if you're highly intuitive, that means that 9.9 times out of 10, you've been called, oh, you're too sensitive, right? Or you're a crybaby, or like all these things that deal with emotions, right? But you know, society and like majority of people, they're not in, the people that were saying that, they weren't tapped into their emotions. And your emotions tell you a lot about your intuition. And the King of Cups knows this. But you may be in a reversed King of Cups, or you're just coming online to understanding like, oh, I'm an empath, or oh, I've attracted a lot of narcissists, or just understanding too, like when I was younger, I was always so sensitive and I thought it was bad, but actually you're understanding this is a way that you can actually gauge your emotions for one, recognize your own energy, and really understand that this is a superpower. Like there's nothing like wrong with crying. There's nothing wrong with any of this. And how you can benefit from this is actually really, really, really listening to your intuition, really, really, really listening to your emotions. As most people may be familiar, how people say listen to your gut, that gut instinct never lies. That can be your cardinal rule now. Because when you do listen to that, you're going to gain a lot of manifestations, or just gain a lot of wisdom here. Even though that's not a sword card, I just kind of feel like it's going to get you that one up, that leg up on things. Maybe the people that you're surrounding. Let me just drink some water real quick. But the Page of Pentacles doesn't usually mean like acknowledgement, but that's what I'm feeling from this. That's how you can definitely benefit from this. And you know, also too, I think like you'll gain some like I don't know, it's almost like a teacher's going to come into place, or like a mentor. You'll start working with somebody that can really like pass on something to you. That's like a little nugget, like a golden nugget, like yeah, to make you feel a lot better that during this phase. Because this is the thing, once you become aware, like don't feel fearful when you hear the word karma. Because one, if you know you're not a bad person, what's the fret? And two, if you really do feel like you're a bad person, you can always change. You can always change. And that's the actual benefit of Saturn. Like, it may give you some harsh lessons, but it's for that growth. You know, you might have to go through these growing pains, but you still will, if you keep going through, if you take responsibility for your actions, there's always room for change, no matter how old you are, no matter how poor you are, no matter how, whatever class, race, whatever you come from, you always can change, okay? So let's see about this soul contract that I was talking about, because, is there anything that you may be resisting from learning this lesson during this Saturn retrograde? Let's clarify this handshake. Okay. I think that's enough. So, is there anything that you maybe... yeah, you're going to resist this in the beginning, because I think a lot of it, I kind of feel like it's almost like you thought you were doing so good, or you were doing like, you know, like I'm doing all right, and then all of a sudden it was just like boom. I don't know, that's kind of the vibe that I'm getting. Let me put this like this, I guess. Just want to fill these cards out a little bit. Don't mind me, y'all. I'm trying to... Okay. So I also feel like there's a lesson here that you may resist, that, you know, you've came a long way. Like, this 9 reminds me of independence. And you do know how to make yourself happy now. You have to be reminded of that. You do know how to, because some of you guys do know, like, I do know how to manifest type of thing. But because your emotions may get in the way, you're like, well, now how do I do it? Because I don't know what I'm doing anymore. But Saturn is bringing some of these things up so you can get deeper into your soul rituals, get deeper into your soul spiritual journey, basically, that healing journey that you need to actually rise up and really experience ways that you can be empowered more. Because I think that there's this resistance of change, because it's like, well, I was doing just fine until all this stuff started happening, and I started reading into all this stuff, and now I feel all crazy. Don't fear it. It's just bringing up past memories. And again, like I was saying, you're going to possibly, it's okay to ask for help. Like, you may need somebody that can really soothe your soul, give you some hints and tools to, you know, have that soul nourishment. Because when you resist a change, this is how you wind up looking, okay? And a lot of times this reminds me of coming to Jesus moments, or just being flat on the ground, like asking, why is this happening? But it's like, sometimes you do have to go really down so you can actually really know, like, dang, I know how to get up that hill again and plant that flag on that mountain and say that I did it, you know? And when we're talking about soul levels and soul contracts, it gets deep, because soul contracts in its simplest form is just saying that, like, before you became human, before you got into the body that you're in right now, your soul asks you to learn through this lesson. And it's to evolve, it's to ascend, it's to experience on a higher level, a higher playing level, you know? It's like, hey, Mario Kart is no longer on level 1. I'm on level 100 now, you know? So, like, don't resist this change. This change will help you understand why you're feeling anxious. But going through this, it's going to feel very fulfilling. Because when you think about it, if you've ever went through some adversity, which I feel like Pile 1 you have, when you're able to actually make it through and, like, really achieve a goal that you've really had your eye on for a while, that feels so good. It feels really good. It feels better than your most favorite food that you eat. Or, I don't know. It just really feels good. And, like, bringing back to that self-love, You know, we have self-care that deals with our physical body, but we also have self-care, which I like to call self-love or soul care, that allows you to tap inward, that allows you to soothe your emotions and find better ways for your mental health and your emotional health to really align that mind, body, and soul. So that's what seems like is coming around here for you with the Saturn retrograde. It's really acknowledging some things from the past, possibly past lives, right? It's acknowledging your creativity and your manifestation skills, as well as some spiritual skills that are coming up to the surface that deal with your emotions, right? But don't resist the change. It's only going to make you feel more anxious and feel um, like your mental health is not that well, right? It's going to make you feel kind of like, what is going on here? But if you can really be able to settle in with your body and just take a few deep breaths and find ways to listen to spirit, find ways to tap into spirit, whether it's just you listening to spiritual music, right? Listening to music that makes you calm down, even, and just acknowledging that you do know how to create your own happiness, that will help you right there. Let's see how you can, the best actions to embrace these benefactors. Okay. Oh my gosh. Y'all see this before I even looked at this. I honor my emotions and acknowledge what my body is saying. I said this in the beginning, right? Follow your gut instincts. This is a chakra affirmation card. Now, the opposite here is my feelings are all over the place and I hate it. And this can mean that you have a lot of your lower chakras that need to be cleared, a lot of your lower chakras that are just not quite in alignment. This is specifically tapping into the sacral chakra that deals with emotions, that deals with creativity, right? So we want to shine that light activation and say, I honor my emotions and acknowledge what my body is saying. If you want to take time to write that down, you can. Any more messages, best action steps to embrace your benefactors of this Saturn return? Okay, I'm hearing due to. And that just like flew on the Magician card. I don't know how spiritual you are, pile two, but definitely got to tap into that Magician card. That creativity, utilize your resources. Definitely not taking all those cards. But we have here Sanctuary and Song. Now, I just got drawn to these two big windows here. So if you have like a really like tall apartment, right, with windows that has great sunlight, maybe make that your sanctuary spot, your soothing spot that you can actually sit, maybe like incense, candles, singing bowls if you're into it. If you're not, maybe just make it cozy there so you can just listen to some good soul nourishing music, like whatever music you're into that really soothes your soul. That's the best way that can really be introspective as well as raise your vibrations. And it's an easy way to do it. It's not all complicated. It's pretty simple. But it looks like here, like the best actions is really finding more information about yourself, finding more ways to self-love, to soothe your soul, and find that sanctuary. Go by a river, go by a body of water, ocean, or whatever, and really take time to write, take time to read, learn some new things, learn ways that you can actually gauge your emotions, understand your intuition a bit more. And, you know, if you're into music, I'm feeling music's going to really help, or sound healing can help as well. So that's all I'm going to say for you all. Your affirmation is I honor my emotions and acknowledge what my body is saying. Stay true to that, pile one. If this is resonating with you, I'd love to see it in the comments. Good luck with Saturn retrograde, y'all. May you be able to resist the resistance or just be more open to what lessons you need to learn. Be open to more self-love during this time, and be open to taking responsibility for things that you need to mature and self, love and grow. So that's all I have for you, Pile 1. I hope this message resonates. If you are looking for more help or more ways to break through your emotions, break through with your creativity, as well as just really sink in and make those goals your reality, check out the link below, because I do have a program that allows you to do these things, and it also allows you to create your own affirmation card deck that you can do that, and I can help you with consistency and learning how to use those cards to actually mirror back ways that your intuition is telling you, and really work on and give you like that soul nourishing tools that can help you break through those blocks that we just can't get around many times. So check that out. Check that out if it feels right for you. Check it out. See what it's about. And also just check out my links below. I have a lot more new things going on as I'm recording this. I'd love to invite you in to check everything out that I keep saying, right? And if you're looking for more videos like so, please like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell, y'all. Now I am going on to pile 2. Much luck to you, pile 1. See you later. Bye. Okay, pile 2. Let's get into the reading. All right, so this is going to be for the last section for advice, right? But we do have here questions that we're going to be asking, right? So this is, what karma are you reaping right now, right? Because Saturn deals with karma and things that, what comes around goes around, all right? Is there any way that you can benefit from this situation? And is there anything that you are resisting right now? I do feel like I'm hearing a couple of things, y'all. All right, so I'm definitely feeling like there's some money issues that's been happening right now with you all. And for some, you might have had some funny money, and I don't know if that karma is coming back to you or not. We're going to get into that. For others, there's some type of relationship that has been affecting you, right? Or you may wind up getting into a relationship that may help and benefit the situation with your money blocks, right? But you're definitely learning some things on getting out of this tough cycle here, because I feel like you may have been resisting. You may have not. I feel like we all have some type of resistance to the unknown. Because let's face it, this karma is coming back to us because we don't really understand what. It's a lot of subconscious things, and Saturn is here in retrograde trying to show us and bring us these subconscious things to the conscious and be like, okay, I need to learn this. Or, hey, repeat and repeat until the lesson is learned, right? So let's clarify this stuff right now. Let's talk about what karma you're reaping right now. So we have counterfeit here that talks about things that are fraud, hoax, false, trickery, deceit, misrepresenting as well. So clarify this, please, for us. What is this counterfeit talking about? Clarify that. I'm hearing down on your luck. Yeah. So I kind of feel like there's a few messages. Let's start with this one. I think for you, you've been trying to start this new project or something new, right? Start a new cycle, but you've been dealing with a lot of money issues. And you kind of feel like you can't get over the hump when it comes to money. It's like, why does it always feel like you don't have that much? Why does it feel like every time that you do get money, it just kind of gets lost in the sauce? And you get really anxious about this. And I'm feeling like this is a big lesson that you are learning to actually, one, possibly be more responsible with your money. Two, start really tapping into longevity with your money, because investments, because this is the thing here, when we can get money, but are you using your money on short thing, like not shortcoming things. What is the word? I'm getting lost for words here. It's like money comes in as quick as money leaves, right? And a lot of times it's because it's like these, you might be used to spending your money on like quick results. I don't know if you get money quick, or it's just like you just don't really know that the power of investing. You know, you might buy things that don't last that long. Like for instance, let me just tell y'all something. I love sneakers, and as a teenager, you could not tell me nothing. I even had a job working at a sneaker store because I wanted the sneakers. And this is the thing. One, my sneaker journey has shown me that I'm not going to call out any brands, but a lot of, because it goes with, sometimes, it deals with inflation, all that stuff. But let's face it, big corporations, a lot of times, they have certain powers, and they choose to use cheap materials, that you think you're spending like $200 for sneakers or even more nowadays, and they don't really last that long. And some people might be like, oh, well, you ran down the sneaker a lot. Not necessarily, you know what I mean? Because I've worked in sneaker stores. I've seen certain things with sneakers, and it could have been like a misfunction. But at the end of the day, it's like, what do you truly value here? Because if you do value sneakers, that's cool. But like, are they really helping you grow spiritually? Are they really going to help you get a house where you can actually build a family and feel comfortable in, instead of feeling uncomfortable living in a certain situation or living with people, right? Like, it's just like, I'm not trying to come at anybody, but when you start thinking on terms of investments, thinking of longevity instead of just spending quick money, like maybe spending money on food or going out to eat or hanging out at the bars, and then you're like, well, I wish I could do XYZ. Like, what memories even are you trying to cultivate and create, right? What ways are you growing as a person instead of just maybe getting caught up into doing it for the gram or social media or whatnot? It's very easy for us to get caught up in other people's lifestyles when we have it so accessible to us and thrown in our face, and kind of makes us feel like, why can't I do this? But there's a saying that's in one of my gratitude attitude cards: the grass is always greener on the other side when you stop watering your own. And I think that that's what's coming through here for you, Pile Twos, with this karma here, is really showing you some lessons of what do you value. Because sometimes we feel like we're stuck in certain situations, right? But we can easily get out of it. But our mindset has us with Tom, Dick, and Harry over here that doesn't really care about the things you care about, but you might be settling for less, right? And then because you've been with them for so long, your mindset might be like Tom, Dick, and Harry when you really want these other goals. And Tom, Dick, and Harry's like, oh, please, you'll never have that, because of their mindset. It'll make you settle for less. And it'll make you feel like you're trapped in this cycle when you can easily get out. So, Pile 2, if you've been wanting to start a new cycle, there's really a need for you to look at what you value, because I think you've been stuck in this cycle that's been pretty like low vibe, and you're looking for ways to kind of level up, right? Especially financially. But money is very psychological. I've had to deal with money blocks as well, and it you got to look at your mindset with things, because you may be telling yourself something that's blocking your money. And the simplest thing that I can tell you about money is, if you aren't really investing, you're just spending and consuming. And if you're not managing your money right for things that you want to do, and then you're complaining about you not having enough money, there's a way that you need to really align with what you say and get rid of some things that are really draining your bank. So let's see. Is there any benefits from this situation? You have the ring here. That could mean commitment. It could mean marriage with somebody, devotion, right? Partnership, union, taking an oath. This may have to do with you. It might have to do with another person. So let's see what this is about. What is the benefit here? Okay. Okay. I want to confirm. What is this Emperor here? Okay. So, for some of y'all, it may have to deal with a relationship. You might be in a relationship with somebody, whether it be a friend or a lover, right? That is controlling over your money, your finances, the things that you can and can't get. And it's just became really toxic for you, and there's a need for you to release that person so you can, or in order for you to really just step up into like that big I'm hearing this song by James Brown, The Big Payback or something. I think that's how it goes. I know that's by James Brown. Like, I hear it, the trumpets and all that in my ear right now. But if you don't know the song, look it up. James Brown. I think it's Big Payback, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, like some of y'all might have been dealing with some type of person that you just need to kind of release because they've been kind of feeding you this mindset that you don't resonate with anymore, you know. For others, you might have had a hardship, you know. Like, I remember reading, I think it's the number one, or let's say top three reasons why couples, you know, marriages and relationships don't work out. It's because of finances, because a lot of people have these memories and beliefs from their upbringing and so on, right, that they come to a relationship with, and they spend money differently, and it can mess up. Like, even if you're in business with somebody and you have a partner, like, if you're not making money moves together, and it's like one person feels like they should shop around a certain way and you don't feel like that, it's going to cause a lot of conflict. So, pile 2, you may have been dealing with that. For others, though, I think that you've been dealing with things on your own for a very long time. You've been very independent, and I feel like you might finally meet your match that can help you feel very abundant in who you are on a soul level, as well as whatever you're trying to do. And y'all might see eye to eye with things like, oh my gosh, you feel that way too? Okay, let's get money. Money I got. Let's get money. We got it too. Like, type of thing, you know? I definitely think too, like, you've just been boxed in about things with business for some of you all, pile 2. And you're starting to understand maybe the ways that you've been giving away your money, or just being too frivolous with it and caring for other people and not really having like the right type of boundaries. And you're starting to see like, okay, I need to be more conservative, and I need to actually, you know, possibly commit to yourself with saving, commit to yourself with like releasing, like really getting rid of these old habits. And if you don't know how to, maybe committing to asking for help, finding other people that can help you with this, whether it be your credit scores, whether it be, you know, you just trying to come up and gain capital in a business. Something here is going on with you, pile 2. And I think that it's more of you like learning other things as well as committing to something, like really committing to your goals and not letting other people stray you away from those goals so you can actually meet them. Because I really feel like you can, but sometimes you might not have strong boundaries here. That's what I'm kind of getting. I know you don't see it in the cards, but that's what I'm feeling from you, pile 2. Is there anything that you're resisting from learning the lesson, though? Let's see. Because this revolving, oh, the devil came out. Let's clarify the revolving, please. I was going to call this card the hamster wheel, because like this is a clear sign that the devil will keep you in this cycle, because we're attached to something. And it's really mental. but it also feeds on our emotions too, which allows us to get into this obsessive, addictive behavior. And when those addictions start talking, that's why they be saying sometimes there's a monkey on your back. It's hard for it to get away. Like sometimes, like monkeys are known for just being really wild, right? And they can also be very, I don't want to say loyal, but like they can stick on to you basically. And with that being said, yeah. So it's a mindset that you're carrying right now. There's some type of addiction. There's some type of, see, and the thing about addiction, no matter what it is, if we're talking about substances or we're talking about food, if we're talking about TV, it's this emotion that is being chained to you because you feel like you have a deprivation of something. And we could always start with self-worth, right? Like if you don't feel worthy of what, like having good food, if you don't feel worthy of being around people that care for you and show you love, if you don't feel worthy of making money. Like I used to do graphic design for $50, y'all. And I had my mindset that I was still like this student. When I was, first of all, not to toot my own horn, but when I was in school, I was pretty damn good. But I didn't think that. You know, I could have charged more, but I didn't think that. So my mindset was still there, and I was doing that for years. And like I was struggling with bills to pay, and it's like, hello, if you want to use your talents, then why aren't I using it? Because I had this mindset that if I charged higher, then like nobody would pay for it or something. And that's wrong. And also too, like me being in certain situations and environments, nobody was like uplifting me. Nobody was being motivational. Nobody was even sharing certain things with me, you know, let alone not even like complimenting. I'm not even going to get into that. You know, it's not like I needed the validation, but shit, everybody feels good when you get a compliment, right? But needless to say, I'm just sharing that with you because pile two, it just seems like you have really good ideas. You have the ability to be successful. You can be independent. You are. But I don't think maybe the right type of people around you. I don't know if you have the right type of partners, relationships around you. But if you don't, the lesson that's making it harder is to release those people. And it's definitely to release that energy. A lot of times, if you don't know how to release that energy within you, you need to start releasing that energy around you. And a lot of times it's people and places. But I do feel like you're stepping into this new energy and having trouble with stepping in. Saturn retrograde is going to put you in situations that may be tempting to, you know, go back to that vice. But I'm here to tell you that these lessons are testing you to get out of these cycles, especially financially, or something that has to do with your self-worth, because you've been really on this new thing, but you haven't been able to get to it. Let's see what the advice is talking about. Look at this. I deserve love and I am open to receive it. Let's talk about the shadow for a second. These are my chakra affirmation cards. And the shadow, this deals with the main chakra, the heart chakra, but it also deals with other chakras. But right here, since we have green, it deals with the heart chakra. And the shadow side of this card says, I'm not lovable because I'm a bad person. That saying screams, I'm not worthy. And there's, again, when we say we're not worthy, there's a lot of mental activities, thoughts that are actually subconsciously something with our actions. What is the word here? I don't know. I'm getting lots of words. But it's This is interesting. Why I can't say this word. It's not allowing us to act from a place of love. It's not allowing us to act from a place of authenticity. Because we keep telling ourselves, oh, nobody loves me. Oh, I'm a bad person, right? And the more that we say that, the more our conscious believes it, because they just hear like, okay, no one, they feel that. And I'm saying they, but the conscious feels that. Your energy, your body feels that, right? But when you tap into that feeling of love and knowing that you deserve good things, knowing that you deserve love, right? This is where affirmations come into play. So if you want to pause and write this down and use this affirmation, be my guest. I'd love for you to shout me out, but if not, it's all good. I deserve love and I am open to receive it. Yeah, because I really feel that you are, like you're having trouble with loving your creativity and your talents. And something along the lines of finances and other people that, told you something else is really happening at play here. And Saturn retrograde is coming in to actually show you this karma so you can learn the lesson. Your vices, though, may cause you to restrict learning these lessons. So there's really a need for that self-love. I think Pile 1 was talking about that as well. Let me see. Is there any other best action steps to embrace these benefactors of Saturn? Because how you can benefit is really just committing to yourself, pausing, when you feel anxious, pausing when you feel confused, pausing when you feel like you don't know if you should walk away from it. But if you're asking yourself if you should walk away from it, you probably should. And if you should walk away from it, sometimes it's not like forever. It's just like, okay, I gotta walk away right now until I really don't, can get some clarity here. So we have challenge, right? And I'm looking at this chest because it's like, what's my best move here? And this is the thing, like I just was saying as this card popped out, like when in doubt, sit it out. Okay? That just came up. When in doubt, sit it out. And look, devotion. So also, like this may, like the money might be reflecting your relationships. And this is the thing, like you got to choose. As my mom used to say, shit or get off the pot, okay? Like you have to make up your mind. Like, do you want this? Yes, I want this. So go after it. Don't be afraid of rejection when it comes to another person, right? But when it comes for something like for you, don't reject what you feel, your desires. Go after that. Don't reject your goals. Go after that. And if somebody's distracting you from that, find ways that you can communicate with them. Figure out if you want to take a break. Figure out if you want them around. If they're distracting you, I don't feel like that you should, right? But you got to find what's best for you first, and if that person respects that, cool, sounds like you may have a keeper. But if that person does not respect that, girl, bye-bye. Okay? Or guy, whoever is watching this. But there's going to be some challenges with you. And I do feel like there's some work that you have to do to really look at why these vices are affecting you the way that you are. And it starts with loving yourself. All right. So I really hope this message helps you, Pile 1. I really hope this message helps you, Pile 2. Work on speaking as well, because like I was trying to get these words out and it just was not happening. Work on speaking kind to yourself, and work on saying some affirmations. And if you like this affirmation, definitely write it down and let that be your mantra. Because we are going to be in Saturn for a good couple of months. The end of Saturn retrograde is actually in October. As I'm recording this, we're still in July. So I'm pretty sure a lot of hiccups might have been happening. It's because of Saturn, And if you're not an astrology person, please look into Saturn retrograde just to find a little bit more. Look into your birth chart if you do have one to see where Saturn is, what house is in, how is it playing out, and find some ways that can really help nourish your soul and get to understand yourself, especially these mental blocks here, because if our mental ain't right, it affects a lot of our stuff, you know. But if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Please check out my links below. I have a lot of new things going on. If you are looking into finding ways to release those blocks, and if you love affirmations and you know you're stepping into a place of wanting to talk to yourself, developing a better habit of speaking well, and also just trying to find a new soul ritual, soul caring, soul nourishment, check out my link below. It's called Affirm Your Creativity. I have one-on-one coaching program that I created to really help you use creativity to find the unique parts of yourself, or find those parts that you forgot that really bring light and bring joy to situations, and cultivate a consistent way of learning how cards and affirmations can actually help you in stepping out of your own way and really tapping into gratitude and that creative spirit. There's something else I want to tell you. And you get to create your own cards. There was something I forgot. I don't know what's going on with you, Pile 2. Like, I'm forgetting so much stuff. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. If you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. I love to see the comments. Hit that notification bell for more videos like so. And check out the links below. I'm getting ready to do Pile 3. Thanks, Pile 2. Bye. All right, Pile 3, last but not least. I'm going to leave this here for the advice. But we are getting into what is going on, what karma is coming around for you in this Saturn, I don't do reversals with this Saturn retrograde here, okay? So it's looking like something needs to be cleansed here. I don't know if it's a belief or it's just something that you might find more information about, but there's something that needs to be cleansed. Or just purified and released. Let's get into this. So let's see what this karma you're reaping in Saturn retrograde. Tell me more about this shower here. Don't ask me how and what type of shower this is. I saw something online one time and I was like, because I like old-fashioned bathtubs. And then, I don't know, I'm like, wait a second, the shower. And I don't know, I came across a picture like that. So I was just like, I'm about to make it look like that. Okay, so I think here that there's some like spiritual cleansing. Now I don't know if there's some type of magic that's going on that was thrown towards your way, you know, and you're just now becoming aware of that. Looking at these cards, it just made me feel like I needed to say that. For others, I feel like you are maybe understanding here this energy that you have not been actually utilizing. Because the Queen of Wands is very creative, highly intuitive, and I do feel like if you don't use it, you lose it. You know, to a certain extent, I do feel like we have muscle memory. But with the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess right here, especially with it being reversed, it's kind of like you may just never knew how intuitive you are, or you just started doing like certain practices or something like that, you know, that was getting into that High Priestess vibe, and then you stopped because of some way, shape, or form. You know, like you may have left it and you're coming back to this, and there's a need for you to kind of like cleanse your energy, wipe off some dust, and really get back into your practices here. For some of you guys, you may really like spiritual baths, and you stop doing that as like a ritual, and you need to start doing that. Because here's the thing, when you stop doing certain things, you know, like your actions have reactions, and that's really what karma is about. So if you stop doing that, you might start of picking up on other people's energy, and like Saturn retrograde is here to tell you, like, look, because you stopped doing this, now this is your karma. You're starting to attract people that are overwhelming you or something. Just putting that out there. I don't know if that's the case, but I'm just saying, but I kind of feel like yeah, I just heard that too. So I'm kind of feeling like for some of you, I'm getting like this spell work. For some of you, there was like a return to sender, and I don't know if you were the sender or if the person was sending and there's a need for you to actually do that. But there is something that you need to release emotionally and spiritually so you can actually feel more rejuvenated and revitalized, so you can kind of step into this high priestess creative intuitive energy here. And Saturn retrograde is actually bringing that to your awareness, is creating things so you can kind of shake it up a little bit and be like, okay, this is a lesson here. Because not only does Saturn bring karma, it brings lessons. We have karma so we can grow, so we can learn the lesson. Because if not, you're just kind of going to be stuck in this cycle. And again, what comes around goes around. Do you want to keep having, like, throwing out the same stuff and getting results? No, that's the definition of insanity, if I'm not mistaken. You don't want to do that, right? You want to step out of that cycle and create something new. And I feel like you haven't been able to create something new here. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm getting this vibe of some type of magic or spell work here. You may have just put down the broom and now you're getting back to it. Or maybe, you might be reaping karma from doing something type of spell work and it's backfiring at you. And it's teaching you a pretty spiritual lesson that, like, you don't need to do that anymore. You need to cleanse that. Let it wash away and move on to something new. Or you may need to, because, like, all right, I can tell you a story. I remember I was pretty fond of somebody. Like, they were teaching me a few things about cards, actually, and intuition. And I'm not quite sure what her practices were, but she felt really cool, But then it started happening. Like, I started noticing how she was kind of like leeching on to things. And I'm just going to say, if the shoe fits, wear it. Because, like, part of me feels like I shouldn't be saying this, but I know who I'm talking about. Of course, I'm not going to say her name, but I just feel like we kind of outgrew things. But the way in her mindset was, she kind of took that personal in the wrong way. And I was starting feeling like all these weird, wacky vibes from her. And she kept showing up in this way that's like, hi. But I don't know. Spirit just kept showing me ways that she was not showing her true self. So sometimes Spirit puts you in these predicaments because, like me, I needed to actually stand up for myself in that situation. And I had to say, no, take your energy elsewhere. Thank you for the good times, but I can't deal with this right now. And I don't need this type of energy because I know what you're doing. Spirit showed me. And I just can't have leeches and energy vampires on me, because I actually attract that because of my energy signature and who I am. And if I was ever going to stop that cycle, I was going to need to learn clear-cut boundaries. I was going to need to learn to feel comfortable with saying no. And I was going to need to learn not to let people just do whatever, And when you're dealing with spiritual things, we're talking about energy. And if you attract energy, if you're an empath or you absorb energy from other people, you need to figure out ways to release that. So with Saturn retrograde here, you may be put in certain circumstances to actually learn this lesson. So let's dive a little bit deeper and see what ways you can benefit from this. Because we see there's some pretty daggone good energies that you could actually benefit from this, especially by the sun coming out. So let's clarify the sun, please. Okay, hold up. That just flipped on out. So ways you can benefit from this. I think this is teaching you ways to expand. Like you want to do certain things here, but you're not quite sure how to do it, or you kind of do, but you just haven't taken action yet. You need to step up your game here. And doing these things are going to make you feel happy, but for some reason you haven't been doing it. You've been looking at maybe ways that didn't work out for you. And it's kind of like, okay, don't sulk about it. Do something about it here. Like, don't sit here anymore. Because it's kind of like you've been in a funk here. You've been in a funk. And you might have been around some people that, third-party situations. You might have been in some energy where it's just kind of like people are overindulging, maybe off of the benefit of you. And it's like, no, absolutely not. You need to find your own happiness. You need to know that you can create your own happiness. And you need to know that, like, okay, things may not have worked out for you, but you can always create it. You just got to do something here. You have the world in your hand, or should I say you have a lot of light, but I think that you're not tapping into that light, and you need to find that within you so you can rejuvenate, so you can just really know that you have control over your emotions. Don't let other people control your emotions. You have control over your emotions. Because again, if you're an empath, this is something that's called kind of like, I'm pretty sure this is called spiritual bypassing. When you sit here and say like, oh, well, I'm feeling so-and-so's energy. So like, no, it's your responsibility to detach from that. Do you want to continue feeling that energy? No. And if somebody wants to keep leeching onto you and draining your energy, they need to understand what's going on, and they will reap their karma. You don't need to do any type of action for that, really. But if you do want to, just do it respectfully and take into consideration what you need to do to protect yourself. I feel that you're going to reap benefits by, once you start removing like the fake, the frenemies, the haters, removing things that have been keeping you sluggish, and really understand, because sluggish, stagnant energy here, there's something that you need to release, a person, a place, or just this energy that you really need to release so you can move forward and tap into that bad energy, okay? Because if you're the Queen of Wands, you got it going on, but you don't see that, or you might know that, but you just haven't been using that creative energy because you've been giving and giving and giving, and there's a need for you to find some boundaries here. Eight of Cups doesn't talk about boundaries, or usually never does for me, but I feel like this is a boundary card here. It's like, all right, I'm saying no and I'm walking away. Or like, don't come to my house here, like closing the door and I'm walking back to my room. Type of thing. There's this emotional mindset game here that's been imbalanced with you. And Saturn is here to tell you that you have a responsibility, you have a duty to do, and you have to know that this is your God-given right to actually feel good. We didn't come here to feel mopey-dopey and sad all the time. We can create our own happiness. But you have to find that within you and your unique talents in order to raise those vibes and elevate and experience other ways that you can actually create those things. So let's talk about the ways that you've been resisting. I kind of feel like you haven't been taking time to actually seek knowledge. Usually this book is like, but the book is closed. So you might need to find some knowledge here. Let's clarify this book, please. What's resisting you? Is there anything resisting you from? Well, Tower moment. For some of you too, I kind of just feel like maybe something scared you. This just wants to come through. About magic or spell work or something. And you kind of close the book on it, or just even your spiritual journey, and you're kind of just like, I'm done. What is this card? Yeah, like something like into like the unknown is scary because you don't know what's happening, right? But there, with a lot of experience, you're going to figure out that the unknown can actually be very beneficial, because it can be like that blank canvas, giving you that energy to make things your way. Create your own happiness. I can't say it enough. We don't have control over everything, but the things that we do have control over, especially our mind and our thoughts and our emotions, you can create something that brings you joy, right? And it's like, I feel like you're actually unlearning some things as well, because for some of you, you've just been very analytical. You've been overgrounded, meaning that you're not like moving, you're immobilized. And I kind of feel like you've been in this fear energy and unlearning ways to give, right? Oh my gosh. So this has to come through for somebody. It's reminding me of how, like, sometimes people say, like, oh, things that are like spiritual teachers and spiritual, like getting spiritual guidance should be free. And it's like, who are you to say it should be free? You know, it's kind of almost like this misconcept of tithes, even though I'm thinking of like the church. How can they keep their lights on though? People do abuse that, don't get it twisted. But if you are dealing with somebody with integrity, like, people gotta live, people gotta eat too. And let's face it, money does allow us to get the things that we need to survive, right? And if you're trying to go higher than that, cool. Long as if you're carrying out your ethics and your values, and you're not harboring nobody in between with that, then cool. But like, it's reminding me of like people saying like, oh, you shouldn't be paying for spiritual guidance, it should be free. No, people need to utilize their resources, and I feel that money is a resource that can actually help you get the things that you want, especially the things that you need. Like, come on here. We don't deal with this barter system anymore. And looking at this, like, this barter system is like, hey, giving and receiving from a balanced state of view. You're unlearning something here. You're definitely unlearning something here, Pile 3. And I don't know if it's just this masculine energy that was manipulative and abusive toward you that gave you this concept. I don't know. Or maybe you've just been in your head and like, well, I want to do it this way and this is the only way that can happen. Like, no, there's multiple ways that you can do this. Expand on that. Let's see what the action steps are. Okay, so this was in the this is the shadow recognition, excuse me. I cannot talk now. But when we look at this, it's I've made sacred spaces in the environment I live in. I can't stand where I live and I don't feel safe. For some of you all, I feel like you've been in survival mode for a long time, and this is kind of tapping into this. Like, maybe you might have a poor mindset or a lack mindset, and this is kind of what needs to be released or cleansed, right? And maybe you've been doing things out of scarcity. You've been doing things out of survival mode. And you feel like you've been locked in survival mode for a long time. And it's like, why does my life have to be like this? Can't I ever find joy and happiness? Well, there's the way that you're seeing the world. And there's a need for you to actually open a book, but also unlearn certain things that you've been holding on to. I did just say that you might have an overactive or underactive, but I kind of feel like overactive root chakra, because That card deals with the root chakra. And like, we need to feel safe. Like, the root chakra helps us understand safety and stability. When we don't feel that way, we are living in survival mode and we're doing things off of instincts and fear. And that doesn't really turn out too well, because when you get stuck in that, it's like we start living from despair, doing things that put us in situations that are testing our integrity. There's so many things, right? And then we're sitting here licking our wounds like, why does this keep happening to us? And being this victim. And not to discredit that you may have been a victim of something, but there does come a time where you need to stand up and say, okay, no more. This isn't just happening to me anymore. This is actually like, I'm stuck in this energy now and I have to figure this out, because Saturn will bring that to you. It's your responsibility to feel good. Can't nobody tell you that you can't feel good. What? That doesn't even sound right, right? But if you have the mindset of lack mentality, you might actually believe that. And it's okay. But it's not okay if you continue to like hold on to that and start blaming others, you know, because victim mode will do that to the point where like now you're blaming everybody for your mishaps, when spirit, you know, tapping into your spirit and tapping into the universe and trusting the universe instead of being in fear can actually open doors and allow you to actually learn the lessons of what's happening and really walk through the opportunity, those doors of opportunity. So let's see what other best actions to embrace these benefactors, because the benefits of this here, people don't like to say this, right? That you went through adversity and struggle and all that stuff to learn a lesson. But I will say, sometimes you have to be really down to understand the best way to go up. Trust. Some of these lessons you may have been put into, you know, you were a young pup, a young caterpillar, you didn't know much, but then you got put into a cocoon of protection, of metamorphosis, of transformation, and now you got your wings and it's time to fly, right? Perseverance. Know that, you know what? The strongest people sometimes really get stuck in this victim mode because they thought they were strong, they knew they were strong, but they had no idea. And Spirit's like, well, I'm going to show you a new level of strong, baby. And Saturn might be showing you that as well. And one thing that I know that I want to share with you right now is, like, for the longest, as I used to hear, oh, she's not strong, or tapping into your emotions is weak, and blah, blah, blah. Like, people used to always think that your physical strength is what makes you strong. Honestly, what really makes you strong is that internal strength. You know, have you ever met somebody that has a strong heart? Like, certain things, man, aren't for the weak-hearted. And having that internal strength allows you to grow in your gratitude, allows you to grow in your confidence, the courage, right? To be you, to stand up and say no more, to really listen to Spirit and trust. That also comes with gratitude and love, self-love. So my pile threes, I feel like whatever you've been through, Saturn is teaching you ways to acknowledge that and use your gifts, your talents, the things that you have within you, and release all things that do not serve you anymore. And really find ways that you can stand on your own. And, you know, any distractions, anything that happened in the past, let it be, and focus on where you need to go now, so you can really tap into this joy, loving energy and feeling safe. trusting the universe and trusting yourself that you'll make better decisions, right? And grow through and persevere to what you need to do in ways that you can heighten your energy and raise your vibes and meet newer people and all that stuff. So I'm going to leave it at there, Pile 3. I really hope that this resonates with you. I really hope that this allows you to kind of just maybe be alert. Like if this is really resonating with you, be alert with any type of adversity, because that might just be Saturn energy, just shaking things up to allow you to be aware of, like, okay, this may be karma, but you do have a choice to act from a different standpoint. All right. So if you're feeling the vibe, please subscribe. Hit that notification bell if you want to get alerted for more videos like so. And if you're looking for anything that is working on yourself, self-development, if you're working on ways that you can really tap into that creative spirit that brings you joy, that brings you trust within your own talents, check out my Affirm Your Creative program. I've created that to help people get out of their own way, to help them really tap into their creative spirit and really find unique gifts about themselves and feel good about that and utilize that creative energy to break through the blocks that you have, right? And develop new skills, develop new soul rituals that can give you that nourishment that you need, and create affirmation card that can help you tap into that rhythm, to help you with that consistency. So check out my links below. I have a lot of new other things going on. I got a virtual studio that I haven't quite finished, but it's open doors for you all. And yeah, I hope you stick around, and I'm going to get up on out of here. Much love to you all. Much blessings to you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.